everyone. So,
Salutations.
I did see in the chat, and I just kind of forgot or didn't realize it paired up so well here, but GuMiho ended up winning against Hero 2-1.
Ooh, so we are going to have a TvT semifinals.
Yeah, he's going to go up to face INnoVation. The other semifinals is still only Buell, with Lee not going to live. Still duking out, I guess. It could be all Terrans. All the pros are officially dead at this point. Super, stats, creator, patience, hero, deer. It actually had a number of pro losses, but no one was able to make it through. Womp womp. So, I think we're just waiting for the players to come back from whatever break they just took, which, I kind of want to go get some water, so I'm going to quickly dip out and leave you hanging. Yeah, but...
It's okay. While this is going on, I'm actually just we're in the lobby waiting, just for those who don't know. But while this is going on, I'm actually just updating Team Liquid with the groups, because I forgot to actually submit that stuff for Ting this week. So we talked about it early in the broadcast. I just want to really drive home and remind you guys, tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific, we do have the Ting European group playing out with Denver, DNS, Nurchio, and Koss, which I think is going to be a really fun group. And I'm curious to see how DNS does, actually, because if you guys haven't seen, DNS was actually on a bit of a tear, killing Beyond and some other Koreans in a tournament more recently. But then Wednesday, of course, we have the Korean group, which I'm also setting up to Alive, Ryung, Biol, and Hero, which that's gonna be really nice, actually. But the thing I have a problem with, and I'm not sure if anyone else, like perhaps it's just like people who grew up in North America or not, have this issue. I really can't get a handle on the 24-hour clock. Like, I'm really bad at the 24-hour clock. So, for example, there's been several events that we've been casting at, say, 3 p.m. Pacific, and I've been putting on the calendar at 3 a.m. Pacific, and it's really frustrating for me because I'm so bad at doing this, and I keep making the same mistake over.
I think it's more of a consequence of your time zone with this events we do, because I could see you having a problem. Your time is always 10 a.m., 3 a.m. It's very rarely NA times. At the very least, when I have to put something on the calendar, which isn't often, but sometimes, since it starts at 1 p.m. or...
Oh, I guess, yeah, because things start 3 hours
I actually have to
ahead.
Consider the 24-hour time sometime, so it's 13.
Yeah.
It also might just be a North American thing.
I got a really weird DM on Reddit, actually, by the way, just while this goes on. Someone saying, like, compliment, I love you guys casting together. It feels really sad that you and Sungrave aren't casting together anymore. What's going on with that? Can you give me an update? And I'm just kind of like, what? This guy just must be watching VODs through, like, SC2 Links or SC2 Cast or something and seeing VODs from, like, when you were at Nation Wars and we cast with Zeph for a while or something. I got no clue, but, yeah, Zombie and I are all Gucci guys. I guess this is a public update. I don't know what to say other than that.
Yeah, right? I know someone had commented like a week ago on that too. And they were like, they break up and he meant in the caster terms and people kind of trolled him in the responses. But it was like, you watching VODs? Like, what's going on here?
Yeah. Well, while this goes on, again, I've just updated the calendar with several of the Ting events. We've got a couple more I'll update later, but if you guys didn't see as well, we've released the North American groups as well, although there may be a player swap out there with an asterisk, as trying to find a time that works for one of the players. But it's nice to see the round of 32 filled out, and I'm really excited to see what the round of 16 looks like. If you guys have missed the 2 groups we've already cast, Optimus and Snoot took the EU Group 1, and that was a super underdog, weird reversal story group. If you missed it, the casts are up on YouTube. The Korean group obviously had Beyond and Solar, which was a little bit surprising, just not seeing Zest make it through. But yeah, we've had some really good group stages so far, and I'm excited for more action going into that round of 16. But looks like enough time has been bought. The game's about ready to go. We got everyone here in the lobby. It's INnoVation versus GuMiho. It's a bit of Korean banter going back and forth.
Yeah, we're waiting for, I think, Naruto. Bathroom break. So. Yeah, they're talking about, I don't even want to try and make something up. Still a little too early. Even though I got a decent amount of sleep. Alright, now we're ready to go, I think. Naruto is back. And Alicia was made host because that makes sense. Olivia, please. God.
You don't know. Maybe Alicia's actually amazing at administrating.
He's amazing at pressing the go button. No, wait, no, he's not. He's still not pressing it. Yeah, unnecessary. Nah, but I don't even know if you realized he got host. Oh, there you go. Okie dokie. Let's get into Newkirk Precinct. It is still a best of 3 in the weekly semifinals. The other semifinals is officially Alive versus Bjol. Alive 2-1 Linok. So, it's either, well, I guess there's still a chance of a TvZ, but it's not looking great for the finals. We'll see. Here we are in the bottom right is the Red Terran. He is INnoVation.
Yeah, just coming off of an excellent TvT win, but his opponent is also quite good at TvT in the bottom left. We've got Storm Gaming's most recent pickup, the Blue Terran, GuMiho. Now, I really, I'm not going to say that GuMiho's got a great versus bad chance against INnoVation, but it is worth noting with how often a lot of these Korean events boil down to TvTs. We've seen so many matchups of like GuMiho versus Alive, GuMiho versus King, GuMiho versus Beyond, GuMiho versus like every Terran out there. So like TvT in Korea, generally speaking, is not a matchup these guys are unfamiliar with. But INnoVation is quite the good player, so this will be a tough battle for GuMiho. I think I weight this slightly in the favor of INnoVation, like a 60-40 type thing, but I do think INnoVation gets a little bit of a favoritism for me on this one.
I agree. I might say like 70-30 or 65-35 or something like that, but yeah, INnoVation giving a little bit of a lead too. GuMiho does have, I guess, a different style or emphasis on certain other points compared to Byun. GuMiho can do kind of wonkier stuff, sure, but not that he's done that recently, so I wouldn't bank on it. You could do Mac, but I wouldn't bank at all on that either. But it might just be a different way of playing. I would actually say that he's more like INnoVation in some ways. I don't really think of GuMiho as being super micro, so I guess I just default to macro. Actually, I don't really know what GuMiho is to me. Like, he's a good player, and he's really good at TvT, because he's won, Olimoleagues based off that matchup alone a lot of times, but I don't know really they ever stood out by it. Maybe just good positioning? I guess. Maybe I'll reevaluate as this series continues, but INnoVation is going for a one-base opener, double gas already taken. Reaper on the way, of course. GuMiho went for something that was pretty greedy. Everything considered, one Reaper is not actually that safe in this matchup if you go for a command center.
Yeah. By the way, we do have an update to the other side of the bracket. I'm not sure if we talked about this because my brain's fuzzy, but Alive ended up winning over Linok, so the other semifinals match is going to be a TvZ with Alive versus Bjol.
I did. It's good to remind people. It's going to be a TvT all night. No, we are casting both semifinals, but I just meant that the finals is looking less and less like it might be a TvZ. Reaper almost dies for INnoVation. That's really good news for GuMiho, because if it didn't, and it does die officially at that point, then he would have had a tough time dealing with 2 Reapers and 1 Hellion right before his Cyclone popped out. But his barracks already has a reactor on it, so his Marines are already being dumped out 2 at a time. Like, that's still enough to deal with it too in the worst case scenario, and everything should be Gucci. Even focus fires on that Reaper. Get him! Got him! And this is a decent defense here. GuMiho went the long way around with his Reaper, by the way, so he could get some damage done too.
Oh, hey, this doesn't happen to me too often. I just got $5 to my personal PayPal.
Cool.
See, I don't actually have to be logged into the BaseTradeTV Twitch alerts because I'm not streaming for one, so I can actually go check it.
I finally found a solution to our Twitch alerts problem of, whenever I have to stream, by the way.
Oh?
And that is, Twitch alerts finally, they came out with a beta, Twitch alerts 2, that is a program as opposed to being open via Chrome. So now I have, like Firefox and Chrome, I now have 2 different Twitch alerts. They can open at different times.
Oh, that's a smart decision. Anyways, thank you, Castiana, for the $5. It says, I just realized the contact form on my company's website was broken. A few weeks ago, I offered to help with the website issues. If you did fill that out, sorry, my offer still stands. Cheers and keep up the good work. I don't actually remember or know what you're talking about, but I do appreciate the message, and thank you for the $5.
Yeah. Auto turret ends up being a bit of a waste. It barely saves INnoVation's Cyclone, but it's still very low. And now the Raven doesn't have another auto turret for another couple seconds. Won't die to the Cyclone, thank God. But the Reaper of GuMiho didn't go for the cancel in the command center, I don't think. No, it went in the main base instead. But the Marine job ends up being pretty, you know, decent. 3 SCVs. Maybe he was going to try and get the Raven, but realizes auto turret's too good. Repositions. Uh-oh, we have the Cyclones coming to the natural too, and there's no defense over there. Marines are focus fired to GuMiho, like, by GuMiho. He picks up, he micros, he runs away, and he deals a lot of damage. And INnoVation, I don't think he has enough to deal with this.
No, Cyclones are really hard to deal with just in general, and this is, of course, paired up with Marines, just perhaps the potential for medevac micro. I mean, he could actually boost that over and maybe just drop that straight up on the tanks, but he's going for the mineralize, and he's looking for more kills, and he's already killed 11 SCVs. With a 3rd command center starting out back at home, GuMiho has certainly gotten ahead in terms of what economy is going to look like for the rest of this game.
He could have gotten a couple more SCVs, but he was definitely looking elsewhere. That's fine, though, because he's still denying...
Oh, he still does get a couple more.
Yeah, he's denying minerals at the natural. He maybe could have sniped that Cyclone.
That was so sick. He drops on top of the siege tank. I was wondering what he was doing with the fancy moves over there, but this ends up being a net total of 12 SCVs killed and a much faster 3rd. Now, the risk to this is maybe you give up a lot of extra defense through it, but I don't think he really did. For GuMiho, his production's already looking dandy. He's got 2 tanks out by the time INnoVation pushes. And with Vikings, he ensures that there's not going to be any auto turret harass forever from these Ravens. They will eventually be zoned out. So I will just say, like, GuMiho has carved a really nice start to this game, and I feel really good about his position.
I do as well. I don't think INnoVation can break him. Like, GuMiho would have to mess up or just have some awesome auto turrets on his tanks, which is a possibility. There will be 3 auto turrets after all, and that would take out a tank. Even if the Marines try and focus fire, I think that would still do it. But he's got production now wrapping up. He's gonna have Stim started soon, so that's another area he's falling behind a little bit. But there's the SCV pool. The tank doesn't get focus fired by the auto turrets. It still goes down, though.
The 2nd tank also wasn't in position, nor was it siege, so it's a little bit more awkward for GuMiho than it needed to be, and I'm surprised, frankly.
Yeah, that's bad news. The Vikings do end up taking out the Ravens there, and that's good.
If the Marines leave the tanks unguarded, he can actually just land those on top of the tanks. Vikings do quite good damage, but if he walks them in from far away, that's going to get them blasted to hell and back. So his own tank comes up. He's going to fight from afar. What are you doing?
Well, he tried to get a surround on the tanks, even dropping into a Viking. That was kind of cool.
He will clean this up, and it's still an SCV lead for him, and with 3 mules especially, income's going to be on his side. But that was all kinds of like WTF. Like GuMiho he had the tools to have a great defense, but executed it very poorly, in my opinion.
There could have been a much better defense, sure, at many different points of the defense too, like the beginning, middle, and end. I think it was all a little bit more awkward than it had to be. But while it was kind of all over the place, it was a defense in the end, and he has a much faster 3rd CC. He has faster upgrades. The only thing he's behind on is Stim. And that is important because INnoVation gets a couple medevacs, it's dropping everywhere, and suddenly Stim looks amazing. But it could also be like last game with INnoVation versus Beyond. INnoVation just, you know, played a solid macro game, defensive, got units just in position, and did fine to buy time for Stim and combat shields. I think it's going to be a little bit harder to do that, though, on this map. Proxima has that, you know, 1 choke to all 3 bases thing going on, which this definitely does not. But we'll see. GuMiho is already adding on static defense, which is, I guess, a difference. INnoVation never had on this, I don't think, in the Proxima game, so maybe GuMiho will always have his units in the right position, and if that's the case, it might not be such a problem if Stim's a little slow. CCR moving towards him, so at least knows it's not going for a drop.
Oh, good scan. Good scan to see exactly where INnoVation is setting up. And of course, on that ledge is really annoying because it can deny some of the mining. I didn't realize tank positioning in the main could actually reach that, by the way. I've never seen that position used defensively, but...
Clever, but it doesn't really work out. 3 tanks just overpowered it. INnoVation starts his 3rd CC on the low ground, and he is clawing his way back into this game, man.
This speaks really highly of INnoVation, by the way, and I don't think so badly about GuMiho. Like, questionable decisions have been made by GuMiho, sure. But this just, again, it really highlights how good INnoVation can be at this matchup. To have taken so much damage early on, to have fallen behind the way he did, and still catch up. Now, the SCV count may not be even, but the army supply is what you look at a little bit more when you're watching TvT.
This is still probably going to be worth it for INnoVation? Nope, never mind. Nope.
Are dangerous.
I don't know. The Marines are already there, which is why I was like, I flip-flopped. But the SCV's going to be pulled.
GuMiho I thought was going to do much better with the upgrade lead that he had, but I suppose combat shields not being done was just too big of a factor.
Okay, so it was worth it. I was like, 2 missile turrets is usually a deterrent if there's also like an army there too, but like
a missile deterrent.
If there isn't, then it is usually worth doom dropping. So that ended up being pretty good. 15 SVs go down. It brings GuMiho's attack back, because GuMiho could have attacked and maybe forced INnoVation to lift his own third, and that would have been maybe equalizing damage, but it had to come back, or production could have gone down. Oh god. I think it dies. Medevac's going to the front, though, and that's tank's going to go down, and GuMiho is being dragged all over the place. He comes back in with a Medevac that is still alive, and GuMiho is entirely out of position for both fight style. Barely has enough on the third. Target fires the Medevacs too. Not bad right there. Loses a couple supply depots in the base. Target fire the Medevac. Nope. He loses Marines. He didn't have combat shields either, so like equal numbers of Marines with equal numbers of Marines were never in his favor. Even with the armor upgrade. Tank gets taken out. The Medevac did finally go down, so yay. Yay me.
INnoVation's army supply has fallen off a bit, and that sucks. But I really love that he was actually able to use combat shields to his advantage. Talk about it so often, never actually get to see it happen, so that was good to see. Trying to defend around this third, you know, resources lost, very close to even. GuMiho's upgrades a little bit better, but not by crazy amounts.
Okay, that was potentially super awkward. He scanned right here and saw nothing, but he knew GuMiho had gone somewhere, so I think he thought maybe he was doom dropping. And now he's like looking kind of indecisive with his Marines going back and forth, back and forth. But no, so the tower reveals Medevac or Marines that could look like Medevacs, but it's not. But regardless, the point is, GuMiho's army's not on the left side at all. It's not doom dropping. It's not.
No.
It's over here.
INnoVation,
he just goes to the right side. That's the last place INnoVation expected GuMiho's army to be.
Okay, INnoVation's pulling back home. He's not going to try and base trade this out, so he does want to stay alive in this game. But losing the command center is already way too much damage.
That was fast. A tank could siege up here and be protected by the SCVs and supply depots raising, and INnoVation might just go for the base race, but he's going to lose his third base as well. That's going to go down. The SCVs could not save that.
This is some of the problem with this, though, the indecisiveness. You saw the minimap, guys. He wanted to come home, he wanted to go, he wanted to come home, and now he's going with it. The SCVs get sacrificed to push this back, but as he runs into GuMiho's base, GuMiho's got 3 tanks up on the high ground. There's a hell of a lot of Marines with better upgrades, and you know what? I think GuMiho's got it.
That's it. Alright, well that started off so well for GuMiho. It might not be a surprise if you missed the mid-game, but INnoVation had started to claw his way back in. GuMiho makes up for a couple of weird battles and ends up taking the first game in this best of 3. INnoVation's map choice now. I do believe we have to wait for INnoVations to choose it, and then Olivia to make it, or someone to make it.
Yeah, Olivia at this point, for those who don't know, when it comes to the semifinals, admin takes over. She makes sure that everyone's in the game.
Why you gotta do that? Why you gotta do the whole pace around thing?
Is Apollo being cute? I'm sad I can't see this. This is what you guys like don't understand. When I don't get to cast, I don't get sad because I don't get to see like Zymgrub's face or anything like that. I get really sad because I don't get to see Apollo.
He's pretty cute.
Feels cat, man. But again, if you guys are just joining us on the broadcast, good morning. Time to wake up for some StarCraft, right? But we do have this semifinals we're casting, so we're in the middle of a best of 3 right now. We have Alive versus Bjorn in another best of 3 waiting, and then a best of 5 grand final. So we're I'd say like 3/4 through the broadcast, and I hope you guys will enjoy the rest of the show as we continue onwards.
Gotta invest in a cat cam. Then you gotta rotate Owls for the 38-month resub.
Rotate Owls has been around for a very long time. That guy, and who is his compatriot? Mr. Halloween. I don't know if Mr. Halloween's still around anymore, but Rotate Owls has been around for a while, so thank you for that long-time support, dude. Really appreciate it. So I will say, by the way, I follow several artists on Twitter. Some that do not safe for work stuff, and some that do. But everybody is making Valentine's Day like art stuff, and some of it's super cute, and I'm actually really loving it. I retweeted one earlier from Fire Emblem, but I will say if for no other reason Valentine's Day inspires cute art with beautiful women, I'll be okay with Valentine's Day.
Yeah, Valentine's Day is so cute if you actually have an OTP, but otherwise, I hate how much.
Oh my
attention
god.
he gets.
The moment you realize Zombie Girl probably gets a boyfriend at some point and refers to him as like OTP.
God no. That'd be really weird. That's like saying I love you, but in like a really weird way.
That is like the most awkward way to say I love you. But you know what? If it works, it works, and I've got no judgment.
No, I would judge myself. Like this is not gonna happen.
Yo, I am opening the last pack of Pokemon cards.
Oh,
Wish
but
me
we're
luck.
in game. Okay, good luck. It's Abyssal Reef as the choice for innovation. In the bottom right's up 1. It's Blue Terran GuMiho.
Oh, let me put the cards down for a second. His opponent on the other side of the map, down under the sea, it is the Red Terran INnoVation. And real quick question, by the way, I've opened up 3 of these packs. Does anyone actually play the card game online? Because I can gladly send you the QR codes that come with these packs. I'm not going to lie, I don't really give a fuck about the Pokemon cards themselves. I just 100% am willing to pay $6 to see if I get a cool shiny or not.
Such a waste.
I don't, you know what, bad money. Oh, I got a cool fucking card! Oh shit! Okay, first off, it's a shiny card, but it's a shiny Pokemon. So like, do you know how those work? Like they're different colors and stuff than they normally are. I got a blue Bisharp, or however you pronounce this. This is so sick.
I got a golden Bidoof. That's the only experience I've ever had with golden stuff.
You got the most stupid you possibly could.
I know. I'd like heard about it because this is like when like Pearl or some shit came out, or like one of the older ones at this point. Maybe it was Black and White. I don't remember. Anyways, and they were talking about gold stuff, and I was like, oh, that's cool. I hope I get one. Open up the game, see a golden one, and I'm like, wow, that's just so cool, guys. Don't realize Bidoof is like the dumbest Pokemon in the world.
It is an amazingly derpy one.
Ugh.
Well, let's Google this bad boy real quick. Did I strike gold? No, it appears to be worth like $1.55.
I don't think any of the Pokemon cards you can buy right now are worth anything. But I mean,
I literally don't even have a met. Like, there's no hobby shop nearby I can go sell these at, anyways. But apparently, its highest selling point was $14 on an average of 2. There you go.
My bad.
I'm gonna keep this card just because I love Bisharp. However you pronounce the name of this Pokemon, I don't actually know. This one carried me so hard in Black and White, so what up?
Okay, alright, I respect that, you know. I was really hoping at some point any of my cards, my old Magic cards or my old Pokemon cards would be worth something, but I just don't have patience to look.
I've still got a shiny Charizard in a thick-ass case.
Shit.
One day, I'll give
both
it to
those
like
things.
my grandson.
That's cool, and the fact that GuMiho just took on INnoVation's Reaper is also really cool.
Right, I'm supposed to be paying attention at the beginning.
You're like, something's happening.
So I got excited with Pokemon!
Alright, so they both went for a 1-base opener here, so the loss for Reaper does not snowball. Although, seriously, at any point, any loss of any unit in the early game of TvT can lead to a snowball. It's just the dumbest thing in the world, but for these guys, it doesn't usually mean that'll be the case. But INnoVation loses a second Reaper, and that's really, this is actually like, okay, shit. Because if the 2 Reapers get some decent crowd control on the Cyclone, even that might not be enough. If GuMiho went ahead and kind of Cyclone on over to the other side of the map.
GuMiho, by the way, follows up with Cloak Banshee's kind of cool, but INnoVation always going Ravens means that cloak is kind of pointless.
A little, yeah.
I think you could argue against most average Terran players Banshee could be viable, but INnoVation always goes Ravens, like always in TvT.
For sure. He is forced to hole up in his main base. If he had tried to take the command center on the low ground, that's just a little too risky, even with a Cyclone, which is usually excellent defense early game. Again, the grenades could happen, the Reapers could go just around and up, you know, and kill a couple SCVs. It's kind of sucks for INnoVation to put it on the high ground. GuMiho obviously has no problem putting it on the low ground. But this is kind of cool. GuMiho wanted to hide that Cyclone, I think, and try and come in, collapse on the Cyclone of INnoVation, but the auto turret's a little too good. And that ends up working not in his favor. The splash damage could have taken out that Cyclone. I don't think that was GuMiho's intention, but it almost worked out.
Oh my god, that Cyclone! Okay, it does go down, but looks like the Hellion will get one more shot from it. Either way, I can't even believe that fight. That was an awesome fight. Here goes the Banshee.
But you know what?
Unfortunately, you know what? The auto turrets were burned, so there's not a lot of energy left, and there's no real good way to deal with this Banshee.
Yeah, he also knows where the Widow Mine is. It's unlikely INnoVation had changed course, because
Actually,
INnoVation doesn't know about the Banshee.
well, the second Raven's about to pop, so it should have the energy necessary, and one auto turret can actually kill a Banshee if well positioned. And I mentioned the Marines get some pepper on it too, so this should be driven off fairly easily. Maybe gets an SCV kill or two.
I think he's trying to juke out the auto turret. Like, it almost worked.
He was.
He's like, It didn't work.
By the way, new sub, hi, no _ Nick. I'm gonna assume that means no nickname, which ironically enough is a nickname. So thank you for the sub. Glad to have you on board.
Oh, it did happen. Oh, it just took a while to update. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Prognosticator, what's up, man? In chat telling me that it's making up Pokemon names, saying that they're worth Partoofs. That's what we can do. I can start auctioning off my Pokemon cards for Partoofs. We'll send them out with the sub coins as you guys hit 12 months. You have all my shiny cards.
You know, I've just been placing random Hell It's About Time things and occasionally in Partoofs occasionally.
Oh, that's really cool. Some like Easter egg stuff.
Yeah, like we have like 200 badges still. I swear to God. And like a large portion of them were VIP too, because for some reason we ordered so many of those. Because
Rifkin's an idiot. Do you not remember this story?
I kind of remember, but anyway, auto turrets are put on left on right side, but the right side was the only one that was really useful. The left one doesn't do too much. Tank explodes some INnoVation's ramp, and INnoVation has to lift off his main or his natural again.
The fact that he forces this off at all is huge. Just denying a lot of mining, of course, and INnoVation. You know, whatever for this attack, GuMiho takes a third behind this, and it's on location. That speaks leaps and bounds about the game, but the SCV is trying to repair desperately. They're going to tap out, and GuMiho knocks INnoVation, of all people, out of the tournament. Made Zybergrup completely wrong with our favoritism.
He did it so easily, too, and I did pay attention to those two games and try and figure out what makes GuMiho so good, and I just... This time it was his micro. So I don't know.
Yeah, I guess those weren't the long games that we saw out of INnoVation and beyond, but damn impressive. GuMiho, you son of a gun, is going to go through to the finals. Nice. The other semifinals match, of course, is going to be Alive versus Buell. They're going to want to get that started ASAP, so we'll hop off to a break here in a moment, but real quick note on that story Zombie just mentioned. When we ordered all the badges for Hell It's About Time, I didn't realize this came in sets of blank, so I thought, oh, well, we need like 16 badges, not 16 sets of like 5 badges. So we ended up with like 300 badges more than we needed on top of the like 200 that we did need. Nailed it! Awesome.
Oh, we're gonna go to that commercial break now. Thanks for watching, guys. The next semifinal will be Alive versus Buell.